I've seen some bad movies in my life. I've seen the absolute worst that the movie industry has to offer. I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer is one of the absolute worst I've ever seen. Maybe even the second worst movie I've ever seen. It is absolutely 100% pointless. There is no reason that this film should even exist, and I'm not even sure that it was a real movie. I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out I dreamed the entire movie, because I don't know how you could make something as bad as this movie. The film was released as a straight-to-DVD movie, which is probably why it's so bad. It's obvious that barely any time, money or effort was put into the movie. The film has nobody from the first two movies at all. In fact, the events of the previous two movies are only referenced once in the entire movie. The film starts with a group of teenagers who are playing a prank at a carnival. One of them dresses up as the fisherman from the previous movie and pretends to attack people. This is incredibly stupid, since not only would no human being do this, there are multiple police officers standing around the carnival. Why does none of them fucking do anything? Someone accidentally gets killed after the prank goes wrong. Then a year later, the fisherman comes after them. Yep, that's the plot. It's even more forced than the previous movie. The film is not scary whatsoever. I've seen Disney movies scarier than this film. In fact, in all honesty, Pinocchio is actually pretty fucking creepy. The film doesn't even try to scare its audience. I would at least understand if it was filled with jump scares and gore, but nope. There is maybe one jump scare in the entire film, and it's a really weak false jump scare. There are multiple moments that were supposed to be jump scares, but they were so laughably bad that they didn't jump me at all, and I'm someone who gets jumped very easily. The film is rated an 18 in the UK because of strong, bloody violence. This is ridiculous, it's not that bad at all. There are way gorier films that are rated 15 over here. Why is this an 18? The acting is horrendous. There's literally a chase scene where someone literally just walks away from the killer. He doesn't act scared or anything. I mean, come on, a little emotion please, you're not Kristen Stewart. The film has the fast-cut shooting style of the Saw movies. I've never been a fan of this style, but holy shit was it done really badly in this movie. Anytime the killer walks out, and yes, he just casually walks out onto screen, they constantly cut to 50 billion different things so you have no idea where he is and what he's doing. The entire cast could have been murdered and you wouldn't know because you can't see it. The only good thing about the film is that it has a lot of film grain on it. It may have been shot on 35mm film, or maybe it was added in digitally, but it looks really good. I loved the look of film grain, so it was nice to see it in the movie, and it made certain moments tolerable because I could just ignore what was going on and look at it. A lot of the cast and crew haven't done much else of note. Most of the actors have moved more towards TV, with the exception of a couple of people. The actor who played the fisherman in the film is famous stuntman Don Shanks, who played Michael Myers in Halloween 5. Of course you barely see him in this movie because the camera never shows him, but whatever. The director has directed two other movies, Stomp the Yard and Losers, both of which I've heard are okay, but I've not seen them. The writer has written films such as Crocodile, Octopus, Death Train, The Butterfly Effect 2, Journey to the Center of the Earth, and Hostel 3. So basically just nothing but shit. It's not surprising that a straight-to-DVD sequel made by unexperienced people, most likely on a small budget, is this bad. They do everything wrong that they could possibly do wrong. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the killer in this movie is a zombie. Enough said. I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. I give it a 0 out of 10. And that wraps up the reviews of the I Know What You Did Last Summer series. The first movie was good, but the sequel sucked. A few weeks ago there was a remake announced, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. Normally in these reviews, if a remake is said to come out in the future, I will say that it could be good. But this time I just can't. There shouldn't be a remake of a film that didn't even come out 20 years prior to the release date of the remake. The writer and director of the movie OCULUS is going to be writing and producing it, so it could be okay, since OCULUS was one of the best horror movies I've seen in the last couple of years. However, I still don't expect much from it, and I wouldn't be surprised if it absolutely sucks. The reviews were requested by a YouTuber by the name of Kieran Crocker. Since I didn't do our opening for these reviews and forgot to mention it in the final Alien vs Predator review, I'll just throw in that little shout out there. Right, now let's rank the films from worst to best. The third and worst is I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. Number 2, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and number 1 and best is I Know What You Did Last Summer, so it's in reverse order. Next up we have a series that I know next to nothing about except that it's received mixed reviews over the years. The series was requested by a YouTuber by the name of ET Revolution X 2014, so come back tomorrow for the first of my reviews of the Wishmaster series.